The reason why most people are unhappy is because of this one thing that society has completely lied to us about. And I am here to tell you the truth and to give you your power back. All right? If you don't know who I am, my name is Matt Petruso. I am a multiple business owner. I was a millionaire before the age of 30, and I make these videos because I was basically lost, and now I'm trying to give back a lot of the things that took me 15 years to find out that the school system and the society has not been teaching us, and why most people are living unwell lives. And if you stick with me today, I'm going to talk about the most important piece, which if you get this wrong, I see it every single day. You live a very unhappy, unwell, unfit life, and you basically are just, an NPC in the game. And society wants you to be that, I think. I don't know what the intention is, but if you get this wrong, it's very, very bad, right? For your well-being. And if you're like me, I'm just going to tell you a quick story about what I'm talking about. Is, if you're like me, I'm sure, when you were growing up as a child, you can remember back to a point in time when you had this type of emotional pain that you can attach some rejection or not feeling loved. Maybe your friends didn't invite you to a party that you wanted to go to, or an event, or your crush that you were talking to didn't reciprocate the love to you, and you felt hurt, right? And humans are the only creatures that can hold on to these type of emotions and feelings of pain for their entire life, and they don't understand why that is. And society's not teaching us this, right? So what society is teaching us, which is completely false, is that unconditional love exists and you should be loved no matter what. And I know this sounds harsh to tell you this, but unconditional love does not exist. And the moment you accept that, it's actually the most empowering and freeing thing. Because let's go back to when I was, a young guy, and my friends went to some, thing, some party, some trip or whatever it may be, and they didn't invite me. And I felt hurt, right? Of course. But why? Why did I feel hurt? Well, I felt hurt because I didn't feel like I was included in the group, right? But why wasn't I included? That's what we have to think about. It's like, well, I didn't think about this at the time, but society said, well, if you have friends, you should just be included. You should just be part of the gang. But that's not how evolution has created us as humans. Evolution has created us to keep the people that are valuable to the group around, right? So you have to provide value to something else, somebody in the group, to be included. If not, you didn't bring any value to the group, you did not evolve, right? And society is teaching us that you should just be accepted and loved for who you are. But that's actually not the case. If you have, and also to give back, to keep people in your life that don't bring any value to your life. You're told that you should have to keep people in your life that you just should love unconditionally. Well, that's not even true. So even the closest thing to unconditional love is your mother, your parents, right? But even in that scenario, if you're not a good child, you're creating chaos to the family, you're creating hecticness throughout the life of everybody you surround yourself with. Even your mother at that point, they don't have to they have no longer the conditions are not required of that person to love this person if they are bringing chaos to the life of someone else, right? Your job is to become valuable to the people that you want to be around, right? And if you think about this, you don't want people in your life that are not providing something conditional to the relationship either, right? And when you can think about this a little bit differently, and all those times that you were hurt or felt pain, it was because you didn't understand the conditions of the relationship, right? What were the conditions? What did this person value? And what conditions was I not bringing, right? What value was I not bringing to the relationship? And then it allows you to take the control back and say, okay, if I want to be included in the group, if I want to be included in this type of activity, how can I be beneficial? How can I bring value to this group, right? To this activity? And when you start thinking of it like that, you take the power back And the love that you receive is no longer dictated by things that you don't have control over. It's dictated by what you do have control over, which is how you are, how you show up, how do you take yourself, right? How do you present yourself? What value do you bring? Because then when you do that, you can now dictate the terms of who you keep around in your circle. Because if you're bringing constant value and constantly evolving yourself and providing things to the group, well, you no longer have, and this is where the beautiful part is, you no longer have to accept unconditionally the people in your life that do not bring value, right? So you can have this open conversation and say, I am continuously trying to improve myself. I'm continuously trying to make myself better. I'm continuously trying to add value to the people that I love. And if that is the case, I also want people in my life who are doing the same thing. So if you are not going to be the person that is interested in improving yourself, improving the life of the people around you, and bringing value in some way, bringing some type of condition, right? Not hurting people, not bringing negativity, bringing positive energy. And if you can look at the world this way, it is the most freeing thing, because when, and you can attach this to anything, whether it's business, whether it's, relationships, whether it's, just meeting new people, you can now understand what core values that you truly want, what type of people you want around, and what type of conditions do you want in your life, right? Like, what type of people do you want in your life? Because you're continuously improving yourself, you can now dictate the terms of who you allow in your life. And when it comes to business, the same thing. Like, nobody's just gonna buy things from you or take you seriously just because you exist. And when you accept that, it allows you to say, okay, well, how can I be more valuable? How can I provide more substance or contribution? How can I contribute back to this individual? If I want to do business with this person, how can I make sure that they are getting the most benefit from me, versus like they just need to accept the fact that I am the person that they're buying from, right? And that's it. But it's not, there's conditions on everything, right? When we forget and get rid of all the society program that has taught us that, unconditional love exists, it allows you to be free. It allows you to take the control back and give you power to say, okay, if unconditional love does not exist, how can I make the conditions that I am the person that brings the most value to that condition that person wants? So it allows you to just look at the world so much differently. And yeah, I mean, it's so freeing. When I was growing up, there were so many times when, whether it was a relationship that I was in, a friendship, even my family, right? If I felt like I wasn't being loved or I didn't feel significant, it all came back to like, it was me being selfish, thinking that they should just love me for who I am. But like, nobody, like, why would somebody just love you if you're just like a burden to them, right? Like, it's not how the way the world works. Like, you don't want people in your life that are going to be a burden to you. So like, if they are working on themselves, then yeah, of course you're going to want them around. And this is like the most important piece, because let's say if no matter what you're doing, you could be the worst at it. You could be unskilled, uneducated, but if your effort is strong, that is the most important thing that I look for in qualities. So if the quality is you're going to put effort in to try to put, effort into potentially increasing your value, then you're going to always be valuable to the group that values those things, right? So it doesn't matter what you know, doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter, what your past is. If you're trying and you're putting all the effort in to improve, then at least the people that want that type of relationship will value that type of contribution. But if you're not doing anything, you're just sitting in your mom's basement and you're not trying to improve, and you make excuses and you never actually, feel significant because you're not trying to actually figure out why you feel the way you feel, then yeah, of course, you're gonna feel depressed, you're gonna feel miserable, you're gonna feel sad. But if you can take the control back and say, okay, well, the conditions are, people really only want to deal with people that are going to make their life better. So how can I make other people's lives better? Well, by making other people's lives better, you are a person that takes themselves seriously and puts the effort in and wants to improve and wants to be curious and doesn't want to just take, wants to give, right? And the more that you give, the more that you get. And it's like a universal principle, right? So yeah, this was a little bit of a rant that I was just thinking about today. And hopefully it has given me a lot of power back in my life, knowing that the conditions, are dictated by what I want instead of like giving my power away, right? And hoping that people love me just for who I am. But when I became a lovable person, I started to get more love, right? So take this with you. Hopefully this, maybe, I don't know who I'm talking to today, but hopefully it makes you feel a little bit better about the future of possibilities in your life, because you are here to be significant to other people. And the only way you can do that is to improve. Okay? So hopefully this was helpful. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Check out a bunch of my other videos and go follow me over on Instagram, MOVMATT. And I'll talk to you soon. Peace.